I just want to take a moment and for you just to think about what impact means to you and what the word fortitude means to you. The meaning of fortitude didn't have any impact on me until 2008. I was 38 years old and I was at the top of my game, so I thought. I had a thriving private practice in New York City where I was counseling women who were in their 30s and older, struggling with the concept of aging. I didn't understand what they were struggling with, so I thought. My high school 20-year reunion came up, and I chose not to go. I didn't want to show up empty-handed. The idea of walking into a room and looking at the worried looks on my fellow alumni's faces and hearing the whispers behind my back, why didn't Sarah ever get married? Why didn't she have any kids? Was so daunting that I decided to stay home. The very next day after the reunion, I woke up and I was so mad at myself. I was being such a hypocrite. There I was telling my clients to sally forth, to face life with a sense of confidence and curiosity rather than fear and regret. And I was doing exactly opposite. Right at that moment, what I like to call a sparkling moment, I removed my hands from my eyes. And I said to myself, there are two things I need to figure out. One, I need to figure out how to find my fortitude during the aging process. Two, I need to meet women out there to see if they're struggling the way I was struggling as well as my clients in my practice. So I made it my mission to go on a journey and to facilitate discussion groups with women from all walks of life to figure out what they were struggling with. With the help of Facebook posts and my friends, my acquaintances, I was able to visit several cities. I was able to go to Oxford, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia, Dallas, Texas, Provo, Utah, Livingston, Montana, Seattle, Washington, Minneapolis. In order for these women to feel comfortable in sharing their innermost, deepest thoughts about the concept of aging, I knew I needed to provide an icebreaker. So I handed out a list of 20 values. And I instructed each of the women to choose the top 5 values that they felt that they need to harness in order to have a sense of fortitude. The caveat being that the minute they heard someone else's voice other than their own when choosing those values, I said, that is not your value. On average, the same 5 values kept coming up. That was grace, connectedness, accomplishment, adventure, and spirituality. With those 5 core values, these women believed that they could harness their fortitude as they continue to age in modern day society. Building on the discovery of my own experience as well as the experiences of my clients and the women whom I met during my journey, I decided to write a book, hoping to help other women out there who possibly could be struggling the way I struggled. The title of the book was called Fortitude, F-O-R-T-Y-T-U-D-E. I didn't know if this book was going to have an impact on anyone, but with my great relief, it did. It provided a platform where women could continue the conversation about how to face the aging process with a sense of fortitude. I was reminded that part of having a sense of fortitude is to listen to your own voice and to turn down the volume of other people's voices when you harness those 5 core values. And what I did is I listened to my own voice at the time, which was saying, you're going to become a mother. No matter how you get there, you will become a mother. So at the age of 42, I was blessed to give birth to a baby boy named Archer Thomas Merritt. When I think about that, I still get choked up. That had made such an impact on my life. A tremendous impact on my life. Along with figuring out that I really need to continue to listen to my own voice, I realized that those 5 core values don't necessarily need to be harnessed by women who are in their 30s and over. Those 5 core values can be harnessed by females of all ages. I'm just looking in front of the audience and I'm just seeing a couple of girls here who I don't know how old they are, but I believe that if they could harness those 5 core values, they're way ahead of the game. So if you can teach the girls at age 3, 10, 16, and 25 how to harness those 5 core values and define those values in their own words, they're good to go. I also think that if we were to give permission to men to define those values in their own words and harness them on a daily basis, they too would have a sense of fortitude, or what I like to call forti-dude. If you think about it, if we were all to take a moment to think about those 5 core values, grace, connectedness, accomplishment, adventure, spirituality, and if we were able to define those in our own words, turning down the volume of other people's voices and listening to our own voice, and harnessing them, we would not only have fortitude, but we certainly would make an impact on someone else, and probably several others. Most importantly, if we collectively did that, we would create a significant change for the better, which I think is badly needed for our country. So if you can just think about, as I leave the stage, about those 5 core values, and when you go home tonight and you wake up tomorrow, please take a moment to think about them. Figure out how you can define them in your own words. Harness them, and you'll see what happens. Thank you.